Hi, you two. How are you? I hope you enjoyed last week's lessons and you're ready for the final video that I'm going to give you for writing this text. Today is the day where you're going to start adapting the text. Let's have a look at the changes that you're going to make to the diary from A Squash and a Squeeze. So here we are, adapting the text. This is where you're going to make the diary of one of the characters your own. This is a chance to have lots of fun with your writing. Remember when we spoke about the differences and the similarities of a diary, we spoke about the fact that a diary has really friendly, informal language. That means that really you can go to town. Remember some of my phrases, but no, I thought that was just ridiculous. This is your chance to really let loose and create a wonderful diary with all the kind of language that you will use when you talk. As long as it's from the point of view of one of the characters in the story, you're absolutely fine, but you can put your own spin, your own personality on it. Have fun and enjoy it. So what are you going to change? When I wrote the diary, I wrote as if I was the hen. You are going to choose one of the other characters. So you are going to write as either the goat, the pig, or the cow. Or potentially, if you're feeling a bit more ambitious, you could have a go at writing as the old lady or the old man. They are a little bit trickier, however, so only go for one of those two if you feel absolutely confident that you know what you're doing, that you know what a diary is. You also have the opportunity to change the vocabulary, to add more detail if you're feeling really extremely confident. So the one thing that we say when we're talking for writing is that at the minute you're going to hug the text. Let me see you hug. You're going to hug the structure of the text. For those of you who don't enjoy writing as much or are a little less confident, or maybe English isn't your first language, you may want to choose just one or two tiny little bits to change, and the rest of it will be very similar to mine. That is perfectly okay. But those of you who really want to go to town or who feel a bit more confident, you can change as much as you like. All you've got to remember is that your end piece of writing is a diary from the point of view of one of these characters. So I've had a go at changing the very first bit of the diary. This is the work that you're going to do today. So as you can see at the top of the screen here is my text map, the one that you've been practicing to each week. You're going to either scribble out on the paper or use post-it notes, or just think about it. If you don't have the sheet in front of you, think about the changes that you're going to make. Your next challenge is then to have a go at redrawing the text map with your changes. Then finally, you're going to have a go at writing it out. However, I have said here quite a few times, remember that you are not doing it from the point of view of the hen. You are doing it from the point of view of another character. So you need to make yourself the goat, make yourself the pig, make yourself the cow. Think about what the cow or the pig or the goat would be seeing, what they would be hearing, what they would be experiencing. So, for example, dear diary, today was an incredibly odd day. A bizarre old man, instead of a weird old man, came to our house because instead of the old lady was moaning, she was groaning. First, he told her to take in the hen. So notice I haven't said told her to take me in. That's because I'm no longer the hen, I'm one of the other characters. So first, he told her to take in the hen. I bet the hen couldn't believe it. She immediately went to the rug and laid an egg. Then laid a giant egg. Then went crazy and threw a jug on the floor. So you can see here, there's only a few subtle changes. I've hugged the text really tightly. Can you hug it again for me? Give it a big hug, a big squeeze and a squish. I've just made a few slight changes. So when you come to do yours, this is the kind of thing I expect. Then, as I said, it's time to redraw the text, including those changes. So here's my new text map. And as you can see here, there's a clue as to which animal I have become. I have become the goat. I bet the hen couldn't believe it. So if you want to come up with some actions to go with your text map, you absolutely can do. But the main purpose of the text map is so that you get your ideas down on paper. That means that when you come to write it, you can look at each sentence and go, okay, I know my first sentence was, today was an incredibly odd day. You can write down that sentence perfectly with your capital letters, your full stops, brilliant vocab choices, brilliant grammar. Then you look at the next sentence. So this really provides the structure of what you're writing. Now, I know some of you may think that you don't need to draw these pictures. You may begin to think, well, I'm almost year 3 now. However, in some schools, children use this all the way up into year 6, year 7, year 8. The point is that even as adults, we find it hard to keep a lot of information in our head all at once. And inevitably, because of that, we make mistakes. By getting your ideas down here, it means that it's one less thing to think about when you're writing. Because as young writers, not only have you got to think about spellings, vocab, grammar, you've also got to think about your letter formation. It's an awful lot for your brain to think about. This just takes one of those things away. Finally, once you've redrawn your text map, you then have a go at writing it out. So I've included in red the bits that I've changed. And as you can see, it is actually quite a lot. So even though there are only a few changes, I would say that probably about 40% of the work is now my own. So dear diary, today was such an incredibly odd day. A bizarre old man visited our house because our owner was groaning about how tiny it was. First of all, he told her to take her hen into the house. I bet she couldn't believe it. She immediately went onto the rug and laid a giant egg. Then she went crazy and threw the jug onto the floor. Whoops! I hope you can see and understand what you've got to do for the next 4 days. How much you change it is completely up to you. Remember, we're all at different stages in our writing journey, and that is perfectly okay. Some of us speak English as an additional language. Some of us, like me, might be dyslexic. Some of you might just not enjoy writing as much as you do other subjects. So take your time, but most importantly, have fun with it. Writing shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be really tedious. It should be fun. It should be your chance to get your ideas out on the page, to make people laugh, to get people enjoying what you're reading. Good luck with adapting the text. And on Friday, you're going to put all of your bits together. So you're going to put your 4 parts together and write it out without any mistakes, all in one go as one long diary. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. I'm super excited to see your amazing work. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.